Hey guys, my name is Afton from Crafting Cars LLC, and I just quit my stable, high-paying job to chase my dreams of building cars full-time. And if you guys feel surprised by that, don't worry, I am very surprised as well. I know, right? That's what I said. This has all happened so fast. That's exactly what I was telling them. It's like the writing was on the wall, but once that first little domino tipped over, it's like that analogy where it hit a bigger domino and a bigger domino and then a bigger domino and then like a really big domino tipped over, and here we are. I'm on my first week of self-employment. And am I ready to clock into an 8-hour shift? No, I'm ready to go for a bike ride. And when I say the writing was on the wall, this is kind of what I mean. I was burnt out. I burnt myself out. It's 100% my fault. Mainly because the schedule I had set up for myself stretched me so thin. So no, I didn't quit my 9 to 5. I quit my 10 to 6. That's 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Now night shift actually wasn't too bad for me. I am a natural night owl. I had no problem staying up at night. And when I was young and single, I say young, I'm 26. But when I was younger, a couple years ago, I would power through my night shifts, and then on the weekends, I would go out and I'd hang out with friends, and they'd all be getting kind of sleepy around 2 a.m. and I would just be getting started. These days, I've got family obligations and I've had to work a little bit more overtime to make ends meet. So my schedule looked a little something like this. I spent about 45 hours a week at my full-time night shift job. I spent around 10 hours a week working on the Acura NSX, and then I spent probably about 5 to 6 hours, please don't crash into me. I spent about 5 to 6 hours a week editing videos and getting my weekly uploads out to you guys. Now I was able to manage that pretty well. However, add family obligations on top of that. On the weekends, you know, I got a wife now, and that comes with in-laws. So on the weekends, of course, they want to hang out. There's nothing wrong with that. But it means I have to completely 180 my sleep schedule. It's like 12-hour jet lag every weekend. And I knew it was becoming a problem because towards the end there, I was taking sick days, but I wasn't really sick. I just needed like mental health days. I know that sounds like pussy Gen Z shit, but I really did need mental health days just to kind of get my brain straight again. When I'm working on these machines at my job and when I'm working on this Acura NSX, I kind of have to be on my A game. You don't want to be tired and sleepy and kind of out of it or having brain fog when you're working on vehicles like this or those high-dollar machines I was working on at my workplace. And those are the days where I'm forgetting my tools everywhere. I mean, I always forget my tools everywhere, but it'd be really bad on those days. Now, when I wasn't rejuvenating on a day off or trying to relax with some magic fruit snacks, I found myself on autopilot. And I say that because I was mentally checked out, and I did that basically just for survival. I was in this constant state of, I got stuff I need to get done, but at the same time, I can't let it stress me out. So I was just kind of going through the motions, and I felt stuck. I realized that, you know what, maybe I'm just putting all this pressure on myself. I was just putting all this pressure on myself. What if I try to slow down a little bit? I watched some YouTube videos talking about the art of slow living, and I figured, all right, let's give it a shot. Maybe I won't hit this Tuesday upload coming up here. Maybe I'll take the time, try to put out a higher quality video. And what happened is when I slowed down, I was finally able to see kind of the bigger picture. I could see myself being stuck. And when I was at work, I'd be looking around, and for the first time ever, I'm checking out these guys that have been there for like 20 years. And I'm realizing that they're just becoming zombies. They're also just going through the motions. And watching my mental health disintegrate and seeing myself slowly turn into one of those zombies was terrifying. A hell of a lot more terrifying than self-employment. Now, I know I sound like Mr. Complaining Pants right now, but I actually don't regret my career at all. I spent about 6.5 years there after 2 years of technical college. I have an automated packaging systems technician degree, kind of a weird one, but the main machines I was working on back in school were kind of the same ones that you see on that show How It's Made, you know, with like the crackers dancing down the conveyor belt, or like the Coke bottles going down the line all getting sprayed with Coke and CO2. It was pretty cool. I mean, I learned a ton in school, and then I was able to apply all that information into my career, which is what anybody wants. Really jump-started me and really made me a very valuable asset to the job I was working. Now, at my job, I was working on mainly CNC machines, some 6-axis robots, what else? A lot of welding, fabricating, a little bit of machining here and there. As far as jobs go, It was pretty good. I wouldn't trade that job for any other job in the world. However, I would trade it for self-employment. Now, would it have been better if I worked day shift at that job? For me, absolutely not. Day shift, there was way too many people. You got the office politics, which it's crazy to say that that exists in the trades, but you better believe it exists in the trades. These grown-ass adult men can really act like a bunch of fucking teenage girls. Now, if I wanted to move up the corporate ladder, as they say, I would have to take on management position, and I could really not see myself working a management position. At the end of the day, I could barely manage myself. Now, this has been a nice change of pace. It's really nice to get out of the house and film a video outside for once in the fresh air. Now, I say fresh air, there's a bunch of smoke in the air right now, but you know what I mean. I talked to a couple guys over there. This is like a new residential area. I'm just kind of exploring it on my bike right now, and this is just a man-made pond, but these guys are pulling like largemouth bass out of here, and they're having a good time. So I talked to them a little bit, and maybe I'll come back and fish the spot one day. What up? Now, every job has its ups and downs. Of course, my job helped me pay for my townhouse, which I have now turned into my little shop space. So that's a huge plus. On top of that, the skills I developed and strengthened at my job are insane. In the 6.5 years I've been working there, I really dialed in my troubleshooting skills, my fabrication skills, my print reading skills, bow hunting skills, dancing skills, computer hacking skills. And man, oh man, has that helped me work on cars. I got a lot of people coming up to me asking, how the hell do you know how to work on cars like this? Well, I learned a little bit working on my Civic. You learn a lot when you try a lot. When you try a lot, you're gonna mess up a lot. But when you mess up a lot, you learn a lot. I hope you can learn something from that. So what I was trying to say there is the skills I learned on the job were pretty much invaluable, and they really translated to working on cars. Oh God, those geese are pissed. They really translated to working on cars. And here I am building a business working on cars without any ASC certification. I wipe my ass with an ASC certification. I'm sure a lot of those ASC certified techs would never have touched that Acura Legend when the head gasket blew. And they'd probably shit their pants if someone told them to K-Swap an NSX. Now, if you've been in the corporate world for a while, you might know that there's a lot of scenarios where you put in that extra effort, you put in the extra hours, you work a hell of a lot harder, and does it pay off? Not really. A lot of times, the only way it pays off is you end up with more responsibilities. Meanwhile, you got the guys that slack off all the time, and they're getting paid just as much, and sometimes those guys are professional ass kissers, and they can get a management position before you ever do. My main goal was to blow up and act like I didn't know nobody. I wanted to get to the point where I'd almost be like an Adam LZ, you know, where I could build my dream cars while at the same time I would have sponsors helping me afford my living, helping me with free products. I would have, you know, a big audience, and YouTube would pay me with YouTube ad revenue, and everything would be peachy and it would all work out. I mean, shit, that's what it's all about right there. So no, I didn't become YouTube famous, and I don't really count on becoming YouTube famous because YouTube could disappear tomorrow for all we know. I know the latest thing on YouTube is they're cracking down on street racing videos and street drifting videos, and they're demonetizing those channels. My YouTube success story is a little bit different. I've only got around 8,900 subscribers, and YouTube pays me about 120 bucks a month, and that doesn't even cover my storage area for all my car parts. However, what I didn't expect is for my tutorial-based YouTube to become a showcase for what I'm capable of doing on cars, and because of that, I landed my first customer. I didn't advertise. He basically just sent me an email one day saying, hey, how much would you charge to work on my NSX? I'm looking to K-Swap it, kind of turn it into a race car. I really didn't want to back away from this deal, so I only charged him 15 bucks an hour starting out. I've since raised that now that I'm going full time, but do I regret it? Not at all. There were some people kind of giving me shit for that, but I tell you what, charging that for this NSX landed me the deal, and here's the big news. I have another NSX lined up after this one, and then another Integra Type R, a Toyota Starlet, and possibly an Acura Legend that I want to work on as well. Now, these jobs are still a little bit up in the air, but I really didn't want to turn them away. So I'm at the point now where something's got to give. Like I mentioned before, I've been stretching myself too thin. I'm kind of at a breaking point here, something's gotta go, and it sure as hell is not gonna be working on cars. So here we are. I got this NSX right here, I got this K24A right here, and pretty soon I'm gonna make them kiss. The second this dream became closer and closer to becoming a possibility, it was almost like a snowball effect, and things just started happening so fast. All of this is possible though because of the almost 7 years of content I've been putting out. So moral of the story is, keep putting gas in that Honda Civic, because you never know when that VTEC is gonna kick in, yo. For once in a very long time, I have hope. I have hope that I can get into a bigger house, that I can raise a family, that I can one day have my own dream cars. And I plan on working my ass off, so it's virtually impossible for me to not succeed. If you've made it this far in the video, maybe you can relate to kind of how I've been feeling in my head. And when you tell people you're leaving your stable job, especially when you're making 100 grand a year, they're gonna start looking at you like you're crazy. Some dudes are gonna be super inspired, they're gonna be very happy for you, and some people are gonna be terrified for you. And some people are gonna be jealous and they're gonna avoid talking to you altogether. The thing is, we only get one shot at life, and the way I look at it is whoever dies with the most cars wins. But seriously, try to think about the last time you just sat back and thought about, is this career fulfilling, or is this just something I'm using to put bread on the table? Now, some people, they really like that 9-to-5 schedule. I know my wife really likes it, my dad really likes it. They like clocking in, clocking out, and just forgetting about it. But for me, having all this stuff going on outside of work, it was just too much to juggle. Yeah, I love my job, but something had to change. I think it was Miley Cyrus that said, life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. When I used to walk around work and ask people, you know, hey, how's it going? I'd get the, oh, I'm still standing. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's finally Friday. But I'm sure the weekend's gonna go by way too fast. It always does. Screw that, man. That is not for me. I cannot be around that anymore. I would take a huge pay cut if it meant I can escape that. Luckily for me, now that I can build cars full time, I'm actually giving myself a pretty big pay raise. My plan though is to invest everything I make right back into the business, because this is now my livelihood. A lot of entrepreneurs start out because they feel something pulling at them. They feel that constant like, I'm meant for something bigger. There's something else out there for me. This regular routine, I can't do it. I feel stuck, and that's exactly where I was at. The harder I work at this, the more successful I will become, and maybe one day I'll have something to hand down to my children. I haven't felt this driven and hopeful in a really long time, and it's very refreshing. I'd like to thank you guys for your time today. I know this is a pretty controversial subject, so let's talk about it in the comment section down below, and I hope you guys stay tuned to see my journey from here on out. This is really big for me, and I think we could turn this into something really awesome. I'm gonna drop this video today. It's Monday, probably be out around this afternoon. And then tomorrow, I got another video for you. I went to an awesome car show this weekend, a bunch of old school cars, a lot of odd cars, and I filmed it with my digital camera. It's really cool. Thank you once again for tuning in to Crafted Cars. I'll see you soon.